All right. What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode, another show. It is 6 p.m., man. Recruiting Unfiltered with Najeh Wilkins, man. So, look, I'm excited. No players today, man. We're going to be just talking strictly recruiting news, all the major things. Obviously, Andrew Beard, as y'all can see in the thumbnail. We're going to obviously be talking about Noah Parker, who shut down his recruitment. So, we're going to be talking about him. Any of the latest intel I'm hearing, and obviously all the big things like Elijah Haven signing and inking the first ever NIL deal for an athlete with EA Sports. So we got a lot to get into today. I hope y'all excited. And we're going to start with my guy, Seth Williams, okay? So I'm going to give you guys some intel, right? And I'm going to keep it real with you guys, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to go too far in depth, okay? Because this is a very personal situation, but I'm going to give you guys some intel about what's going on with Seth, right? Okay, so what is going on here? Okay, so he decommitted today. I made this literally like on the road, this graphic quick, and he decommitted, right? Now, obviously, comes out about 20, 30 minutes later. Rivals Chad Simmons, obviously, he's a national reporter. He also breaks, obviously, the news, right? But I was the first one to kind of know, and obviously broke the news, right? So what is going on with Seth? Why did he decommit from Clemson? Okay, so Clemson, if those that don't know, they have this rule, essentially. Like, once you are committed to Clemson, that is what it is, right? There is no take visits. There is no communication with other people or other programs and teams. There is none of that. Once you basically are committed to Clemson, that is it. Your recruitment's practically done, and you are going to be a Clemson Tiger. That is how to get down. That's what they've done in the Dabo era. And as you guys can see, it's been very successful. They've won 2 national championships, right? So the situation here for, obviously, Seth, most people are going to be like, oh, well, the decision was rushed, blah, blah, blah. That's the quote he gave. The real is, guys, he has a very close family member. I'm not going to reveal who it is, right? Because that's super personal. But let's just say they're not doing well. Okay. So they want to enjoy this process, right? Seth has burst onto the scene. He's a 4-star prospect. He's elite. He's the creme de la creme. He's the best of the best, right? So the family, they want to enjoy this process with him. They don't want to, obviously commit this early, and they want to go through the full thing, as you should. As you should. Why am I rushing to a decision right now in April? Right? Now, again, to you guys' point, oh, well, Naj, you should probably commit early or decide what you're going to do, you know what I'm saying, early on. You don't want to wait all the way to December or so on and so forth and not have a spot, right? But there's certain guys that have spots that no matter what. Seth Williams is one of those guys. He's going to have a spot no matter what, right? The other guys is like the fringe, he's probably not going to have a spot or, you know what I'm saying? It might not be available. Seth is the exception, okay? So he's going to have a spot available to him, all right? So the difference is they want to go through the process. And I always tell recruits, like, don't feel rushed. Like, yes, the team want to get you committed. Yes, they want you locked in. But at the same time, enjoy the process. Go on your spring visits. Go on your OVs. Then if you want in the summer, make that decision. That's really the prime time people don't talk about enough, right? Making the decision in the summer, right? Excuse me, guys. Sorry. That's when you want to make the decisions in the summer because you've been on the OVs. You got to see everything these campuses have to offer. And then you lock in your spot. And then if anything changes, and the team don't want to take you no more, or they're kind of having cold feet, you can pivot somewhere else while still be committed. Oh, okay, I'm gonna open up my commitment and see what was there, you know what I'm saying, what's out there for me. So that's the intel on Seth. Okay. Seth is basically trying to go through the process, enjoy it with his family and his family members, man. And he's not trying to rush into it, right? As he said in the quote, he's not trying to rush to it. But the real deal is the family wants to enjoy the process with him. They don't want to make a decision right this second. All right. So that is why he kind of backed off his pledge. He's visiting, obviously reported by Chad Simmons. He was at Georgia Tech, so on and so forth, right? You're not supposed to do that when you're committed to Clemson. But to his point, Seth wants to enjoy the process with family members. He wants to go through it. He wants to see everything out, which is why he's decommitted from Clemson, because Clemson doesn't really allow that. So that is the intel for those that don't know, okay? Has to do with a family member very close to Seth, and they want to enjoy the process and go through it. So there you go. That is the intel, obviously, on Seth Williams, all right? So let's keep it going on the show. Obviously, spent about 5 minutes talking about that. We're going to talk about Noah Parker now. All right, now he's been committed to Georgia for quite a long time. He's officially shut down his recruitment. Apparently, it was a heart-to-heart, right? Basically, they got down, and what I love is that they weren't playing around. They went ahead and got Noah Parker locked in, and when you shut down the recruitment, that means he's not going nowhere. Now, remember, Georgia also has Keemon Spell also committed to the program, right? So they already got 2 backs already committed for this class, right? Now Noah Parker's dynamic. He's a physical runner, elusive. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that's a difference maker. You know what I'm saying? So Georgia didn't want to waste no time. Georgia was like, yo, let's go ahead and lock you in and let's, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and shut this down, right? That's essentially what happened here and why Noah Parker has shut down his commitment. Feeling good about Georgia, wants to stay locked in with him. And that is all she wrote. Now, not too much to say on that front, but him shutting down his recruitment, right? That signifies something else, right? And this is the main topic for today, right? So we talk about Noah Parker shutting down his recruitment, feeling good about Georgia, having a heart-to-heart. That's where he wants to go, blah, blah, blah. The real thing of what we're talking about today is Andrew Beard, okay? That's what we're getting into today, all right? Now, I'm going to give you guys the real deal Holyfield, right, on Andrew Beard. I have a source very close to him and his family, okay? So I'm going to give you the real deal of the schools that to watch for him, and I'm going to give you the schools that I think are fits, okay? Now, he has a top 4. Now, remember this top 4 now, y'all. Georgia, Clemson, Florida, Tennessee, right? Now, obviously, this is Jeremy Johnson, does a phenomenal job covering the state of Georgia and high school football and also the Bulldogs, right? So he says, Georgia remains a major contender for 4-star Andrew Beard, despite having 2 running backs already committed. Beard dives in on the hometown program and the contenders who have made recent pushes, right? So when it comes down to Beard, to me, I'm going to give you guys the fit. What I think is a fit. Not what I'm hearing. The fit to me. The best 2 fits to me is Tennessee and Clemson, right? When we talk about Georgia, Georgia already has 2 committed, right? No disrespect to Beard. Beard likes to compete. Beard wants that motion. Beard wants to go in there and go battle for a spot. But they got other backs already there, right? Are they going to lose a couple? For sure. But coming in 3 backs, like to me, if I'm Andrew Beard, I'm not doing that. No disrespect to Georgia. Like right now, his uncle's Garrison Hurst. He played at Georgia. Makes sense. But I'm not doing that if I'm Andrew Beard. Why am I going in with, and I'm competing with 2 other guys right off the bat? You know what I'm saying? To me, that doesn't seem like the best situation for me, personally. Now, that's Georgia. The reason I say I believe Tennessee's a fit because you have a little more wiggle room, right? They lost Peyton Lewis. Obviously, he left. Star Thomas was out of, obviously, eligibility. They have Deshaun Bishop, Justin Baker, who's waited around a little bit. You can make a spot in there in Tennessee to me. You know what I'm saying? And they play their backs young for the most part. Like, you could play. Tennessee's going to play you. You know what I'm saying? Period. So, for me, it's like, okay, that's a pretty good fit. Like, because you can go in early, fits a little bit of his play style, catch it out of the backfield, running between tackles, bounce it, speed. It makes sense. Okay. Clemson, another program, right? Last few years, maybe not so much. Haven't been seeing them been known for the running backs. But you go look at the Dabo Sweeney era, they've always had a good back. Travis Etienne, Trevor Etienne, like they've always had good backs come through that Clemson football program, right? And what Clemson, we just talked about it. Once you committed, that's it. They're not playing no games with you. You ain't, once you locked in, you're locked in, right? But Dabo plays his players, right? He still barely uses that portal. So you ain't got to really worry too much about, oh, Dabo going to go get that guy from the portal, get this guy from the port. Like, you don't really have to worry about that. It's more so whatever class he's brought in, and they looking to develop you. So if I'm Andrew Beard, that looks good to me because I know I'm going to come into this ACC program. Yes, they had a down year last year, but for the most part, they're one of the powers in the ACC. I'm going to get developed. I'm going to battle against whatever competition is there. But I know my coach believes in me, and he's going to try to get me on the field as soon as possible, right? So to me, that's why I said Tennessee, Clemson makes the most sense. If I'm Andrew Beard, I'm instantly thinking about those 2. Again, my personal opinion, right? This is not intel. This is my opinion. I would say Tennessee and Clemson. Now, the intel, a source very close to Andrew Beard, knows the family well, okay? I'm not revealing my sources at all, but I'm going to give you a source. The 2 teams to watch for Andrew Beard is Florida and Tennessee. Okay? Those are 2 teams to watch for Andrew Beard. Florida? I mean, not Florida, Tennessee. I'm sorry. Forgive me, y'all. 2 teams to watch for Andrew Beard. Forgive me. I went on a tangent and forgot. 2 teams to watch for Andrew Beard. It's Tennessee. Oh, I keep saying Tennessee. Why I keep saying Tennessee is all in my head. It's because I covered them and all that. Okay. One more time, y'all. Forgive me. That's why it's good it's live and get it through the thoughts. Okay, sorry. The two teams to watch for Andrew Beard, for real this time, is Florida and Clemson. All right. Those are the two teams that are standing out that he really likes per source, very close to Andrew Beard. Okay. So, as I said with Georgia, it's like, yeah, I could go there. But again, y'all got two guys already committed. Like, you're not really making me feel like a priority. You know, not saying he said that. This is just how I would feel if I was in his shoes. Right. Now, Florida, right? Think about it. This is Jaden Ball's last year, right? They got other backs there, but Florida can go in. Same thing. New coach Josh Summerall laying down the foundation. New era makes sense, right? And the NIL package, from what I heard, is pretty nice, right? Now, say what you want about Clemson. You know what I'm saying? Clemson also likes to devote a little bit of money out there. You know what I'm saying? How do you think they get some of these top recruits? Right? It's a little slept on, but Clemson is one of those teams, right? They're going to deal out money. Okay? They're going to put money out there to grab their players. Hold on, y'all. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Had sniffles, man. Had to make sure I was right. All right. So, but a lot of people sleep on Clemson because Clemson's going to deal out the dough. Clemson is going to give you the money, believe it or not. Now, some of y'all be like, well, Nas, how? They don't even hit the portal. It's because they invested in young guys, right? So those things are appealing if I'm Andrew Beard. And look at what Florida has done in terms of development. Obviously, different coaching staff, but look what they've done in terms of development of their running back position the last few years, right? Clemson, same thing, right? It's a little different because they had to convert a wide receiver, so on and so forth. But they haven't had a talent like a Beard in some time. Now they got David Isiemi, who came out. He was a heavily touted guy coming out of high school at North Cobb. They got some guys. But the last few years before that, the talent level hasn't been the same at the running back spot. But you get a guy like Beard, you feel pretty good. So that's my thoughts. The best fits to me, is Tennessee and Clemson. The teams to watch for Andrew Beard is Florida and Clemson. All right. So there's y'all intel, man, per inside source. Okay. So I can't say that come on the show, Recruiting Unfiltered. I'll give y'all some of the intel and different things I'm hearing. Okay. So I'm giving y'all intel into what I'm hearing. All right. That is the truth. This is why you come to Recruiting Unfiltered with Najeh Wilkins, when you get the intel on some of the top guys, some underrated guys as well. All right. There it is, man. So those are the two main topics. Had to obviously put that into the show notes today. Of all the guys, obviously, to continue to watch for. All right. Next topic. We are talking about Elijah Haven. Okay. Elijah Haven, right? Like I said, inks a new deal. I mean, bro, this is massive, right? Inks a deal with EA Sports last year, 62 touchdowns, 3,900 yards passing. You know what I'm saying? I think he had 900 yards on the ground, I believe, 18 touchdowns. Like, dude was just electric. But this is unforeseen because we don't always see quarterbacks ink these type of deals, or just high school athletes in general. Okay, he's heavily coveted. Multiple teams are pushing for him. That's massive for him. You know what I'm saying? Because now, before my senior season, I'm already inking this deal. I'm getting some cash flow kind of coming in for me. And it just shows the type of player he is. It just shows what he's about. So that's massive. That is massive. Okay, so this kid is special. Hold on. We got a comment. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Backdoor Poacher. They said he is coming on a Georgia spring visit. Yes, he is. That is confirmed, my brother. Elijah Haven is coming on a spring visit. Appreciate you for tuning in, my brother, and supporting the channel. We're trying to grow this thing. So thank you, brother. Here it is right here to confirm what you had to say. Obviously, number one quarterback in the country, 5-star Elijah Haven will visit the Georgia Bulldogs today per Bryce Coon. 6'5" QB from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is expected to make a decision on April 25th. He is currently training to Alabama, but Georgia looks to steal some momentum within his visit. All right, it's interesting, right? Because Georgia has always been in the running for a 5-star prospect at the quarterback spot, Backdoor Poacher. But for whatever reason, they can never close, right? They can never close on these kind of guys, right? Now, I don't know if it's these guys want to play early. I don't know if it's an NIL thing. I'm not sure, right? Because last cycle, it was Jared Curtis. You know what I'm saying? Previous cycles, it was other quarterbacks, right? It was Dylan Raiola, right? So I don't know quite what it is, brother, like why they can't quite close the deal, but something's missing there. right? But I hate to say it, when you come to Georgia, you're not going to play early. I hate to say it. When it comes to the quarterback spot, you're not going to play early. That's just a reality, right? Gunnar Stockton, go look at the last few guys. Stetson Bennett had to sit. Gunnar Stockton had to sit, right? Ryan Puglisi's had to sit. Montgomery's had to sit, right? It's the reality of Georgia football as a quarterback. You're not going to play. Even if you may be that guy, that dude, you're not playing. No disrespect to Georgia. That's just what it is. We have to look at the tea leaves and we have to look and see what we see every single year. And that's what it is. Yeah, those guys don't want Georgia football. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But if it's me, I want to get a chance to play. I want the opportunity. At least let me compete for a spot. You know what I'm saying? With Georgia, it's a little bit tougher. Other positions, I won't say that. Like defensive line, linebacker, safety, secondary, offensive line, tight end even, they let you play. But quarterback, I don't know. For whatever reason, backdoor poacher, they don't really happen. It's not a commonality. But he is going for a spring visit, but I think he ends up at Alabama. Just my personal opinion. I think he ends up in Bama, man. But we'll see. But speaking of, he will be in town this weekend for an 8-day visit along with several other key prospects for the Alabama Crimson Tide. He's going to be at the 8-day scrimmage this weekend. And like I said, I think he's going to end up at Alabama. They just have a lot of resources. I know right now is a battle between obviously Keelan Russell and obviously Austin Mack. But if I'm Elijah Haven, hey, there's opportunity there. But let's talk more about the 8-day scrimmage in the latest. This is from obviously my guy, Brett Greenberg. He shared it. So we're going to roll this clip here and let you guys see it. One more. Y'all have it. All right, there it is, right there in the flesh, man. You heard it from Brett Greenberg. Obviously, does a great job, man. One of the best insiders, man, for obviously Alabama 247. Has been doing the job for quite a long time. And obviously, Tom Lloyd, the national recruiting analyst, also covers college sports as well. they really summed it up right there, right? So for Elijah Haven, it feels like when you peel away the layers of that, it feels like he's not trying to go to a spot where maybe he's going to play day one, right? He looks like he's comfortable with, okay, let's have a plan set up. Let me develop in this system. Let me learn the offense, and then let me go in. Can you maximize, excuse me, my talent? Because if you're going to say play early, I would say obviously Auburn, right? Now, Auburn has some recruits, different things like that, but it's a new era. Brown's going to come over. Obviously, it's going to be, his team this year. But what's the next plan for Auburn after that, right? Deuce Knight left. He went to Ole Miss, right? And he's probably not even going to play this year. He's going to be up under Trinidad Chambliss. But then after that, it's supposed to be his team. You know what I'm saying? So that looks good if you want to play early, right? Maybe even potentially Kentucky. But if you want to plan, it's interesting because, you look at Alabama, right? We talk about Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, right? Jet Tamala, 4-star prospect. Trent Seaborn, who's from the state of Alabama, obviously plays for Thompson. And then Elijah Haven, if he goes on and he commits, which is likely to happen. So it might be quite a while. Somebody's going to have to transfer out, though. That's just a reality situation. Whereas Austin Mack or somebody's going to be leaving Bama, I think, at the quarterback position at the end of this year. That's just the reality. It's too many quarterbacks to me, and somebody's going to end up leaving. Probably not going to be a young guy. Probably be one of the older vets or anything like that. So I think that's what's kind of like in the fray for obviously Crimson Tide. But you want to get an Elijah Haven. Like you said, very smart individual. A guy that just wants a plan and wants to be ready for when his time comes so then he can make his hay and then he can obviously go off to the league. That's what he wants to do, right? What better place than Alabama? Makes a lot of sense. That is a team I would probably go to, have a plan for me. I might have to sit 1 or 2 years, but by the time it's my opportunity to go play and go start, hey, I'm going to go play and I'm going to obviously go start. So there you have it, man. That's Elijah Haven. All right, let's keep it going. We got Jaleel Goley. All right, so we're going to bring up Jaleel Goley. Oh, no sound? I'm sorry about that, brother. I don't know what's been going on with StreamYard and the sound and couldn't hear it, but I did summarize it essentially, man. I don't know what's going on with that, why they don't allow you to give any audio, but he basically was just summarizing, man, everything going on with Elijah Haven. Obviously him wanting to kind of just develop, him wanting to obviously, go to a place where they have a scheduled plan for him and probably won't play until like year 1 or 2. He's not really in a rush, essentially is what I got from that. And he just wants a detailed plan where he can go play. He's not looking to really play early from what I gathered from obviously that audio, but sorry that didn't capture none, my brother. All right, let's keep it rolling, man. Let's talk Jaleel Goley. All right, now he is a 2028 prospect. One of the top guys, 4-star prospect, as you guys see, has a whole bunch of offers: Mississippi State, Georgia Tech, Georgia, UNLV, Wake Forest, Pitt, Missouri, Florida State, Ohio State, Indiana, Tennessee, Tulane, UAB, UConn, and Georgia State. But obviously, he's one of the top players in the country, 4-star prospect, 32 tackles this past season, 13 passes defense, and 6 INTs. Now, he's a name I didn't even really know. You know what I'm saying? But obviously popped into the scene this year, man, playing for Hebron Christian. Obviously the team that won 2 back-to-back state championships with 2 different head coaches. Crazy to fathom, crazy to think about, man. But from what I heard, he's a playmaker. Like, he plays defense, but he also can do a little thing on the offensive side of the ball as well. Like, the kid can do a little bit of everything. He really liked that. He is really him when you look at, obviously, Jaleel Goley. So I think it's interesting to see what's going to happen with his recruitment. It's still very early for 2028 class. Excuse me. But it'd be interesting to see where is he going to be on campus this fall. What schools will he take game day visits to? You know what I'm saying? And if, obviously, spring's coming to a close, where will he be at for the spring game? Right? That kind of gives you a little bit of insight of, obviously still very early, but maybe teams are starting to stand out for Jaleel Goley or starting to kind of pop out a little bit for him. So that's going to be some things to definitely watch out for him, his recruitment, kind of seeing what's next, man. But from what I've heard, what I've seen on film, man, kid's an absolute stud. He can do a little bit of everything, man. Special talent. And he's going to be one of those guys you have to pay attention to when it comes to, obviously, the DB position. And he's going to be very dangerous, I think, in Georgia. And I think his profile is going to continue to go up, go up, go up, go up. So obviously a really standout player here in the state of Georgia, Jaleel Goley. All right. Now I'm going to put y'all on some game. Obviously, as we kind of come down to the end for the show. Right. Last week I had my breakout players. You know what I'm saying? I'll put you on some game with some guys that needs a little bit more attention, right? So I'm going to put y'all on some game, man. For those that watch my show, I appreciate y'all as always, man. But it's a quarterback from North Hall, man. He's been doing his thing, man. His name is Alex Schillerman, right? Last year, I mean, set it up, man. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can know, man. I like to expose the young thoroughbreds too, man. Alex Schillerman is a dude. You go look at his film last year with North Hall. Bro did his thing, right? He threw for 3,316 yards and 29 touchdowns. Bro was absolutely cooking Like defenses ain't had no answers for him. He was going to work, right? And this is a guy that in the state of Georgia doesn't get enough love, right? I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the state. He was top in passing yards last year. He has a great arm. He can improvise. He can make plays on the run. Like this kid can do a little bit of everything, and he don't get enough love. He doesn't get enough love. You know what I'm saying? We need to talk about Alex Schillerman more when we look at the state of Georgia. We look at top quarterbacks as well. And like I said, he has good height, 6'1". He's not 6'4", you know what I'm saying, or 6'3", but it doesn't matter, right? Why isn't this guy right here getting talked about more? Why doesn't this guy, like I said, have more offers, right? We see Georgia Southern, right? Spring game, okay, tomorrow. Obviously, he's been at Georgia Tech with Coach Godsey. Enjoyed his time there, but not getting enough love to me. I feel like this kid is super underrated, and we need to talk about him more, man, in the state of Georgia in terms of quarterbacks and what he's doing on the field from a day-to-day basis. And this kid's a baller, and he's top notch in my humble opinion. So we're not talking about him enough. And the next player I want to give a little bit of love to. I did a tell the tape on him. As you guys know, if you guys want to be featured, any players that are watching, I hit my DM. I can always do it, obviously, on Tuesdays when I do my show. But Ashton Clare is a player I want to talk about today, man. Put y'all on some game. I think he's a really good quarterback, man. Plays for Trinity Christian, had a really good season. Also was top in passing yards. Really just slept on, man. But this kid is special. He could do a little bit of it all, man. Improvised, threw for a whole bunch of yards last year. Continued to kind of just take his game to another level. You know what I'm saying, for Trinity Christian. And I expect for him to have a big time senior season, man. 6 foot 195, great arm, got some wheels to him, goes through his progressions, never rushed. You know what I'm saying? Guy has a lot of talent, but I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of his film. He obviously showed it on his Twitter for me and me breaking it down. So I'm gonna show that and roll just a couple of minutes of it real quick to know about Ashton Clare. All right. He's from Trinity Christian High School. 10 minutes of film. We will not look at the whole 10 minutes. Honestly, that is very long, obviously, for an athlete. There. I love that. Receiver didn't really have to wait, and then you hit him straight in stride. That was an excellent throw. All the receiver had to do was boop. That was good. Like the long ball right there. Okay, a little RPO action. Okay, breaking a little tackle. All right, getting a little shifty. Okay, I see you. All right. All right, Ashton. Okay, here against Hebron Christian. Let's see where he puts that football. Oh, that's good. That is good. I like that, Ashton. Nice, comfortable pocket. Look where he places that football. Look at the placement. Right there. Look at that. Boop, boop. That's a great throw. All right. With a little RPO. Keeping it, showcasing the wheels. Great job right there, showcasing that speed. Let's see. Oh, all the way for the tutty. I like that. Okay. Kid can do a little bit of everything. A little RPO action. Dual threat right here. Let's see. Oh, that was another dot. Oh, let me stop that. But as y'all can see, man, Ashton can do a little bit of everything. He's a guy that has a good head on his shoulders and provides the thing I love the most is his accuracy, pinpoint, hitting the target every single time, man. And really slept on kid here in the state of Georgia. Needs more love, man. So I'm trying to expose him on my platform. I think he's a guy that needs to be talked about definitely more here in the state of Georgia. All right. Ashton Clare, a name to know, right? I ain't saying he's gonna be a D1 top power four. I won't say D1, but power four type of player. Everybody has their opinion, but the kid does deserve more attention, man. And obviously, the kid can ball, he can play. So we should be talking about him way more. And the last one, man, is a guy I don't understand for the life of me what else this kid needs to show. He's massive, he's big, he's a special talent and player. He's 6'1". I don't know how big we want our edge rushers, linebackers. I mean, I really don't know. But bro had 20 and a half damn sacks. Uh, hello? Hello? Anybody out there? Hello? Why doesn't this kid have more buzz on him? Why are we not talking about Tavari Terrell as one of the top players in the country, right? Obviously, good to see here. Coastal Carolina offered him things like that. Howard Bison was another one. But this is a special kid, man. I don't understand why he doesn't have more buzz on him. Plays for Creekside. They just won a state championship. They're one of the South Side powerhouses right now. You look at them, usually look at Langston. They're one of the top teams in this not only state but the country, man. So why are we not talking about Tavari Terrell more? Why are we not mentioning his name more amongst the top players in the country, top players in the state? He could do a little bit of everything. He can play inside backer, outside backer, Sam, Will. He can blitz. He can play in the box. He can come off the edge. Why are we not talking about Tavari Terrell more? Doesn't make sense to me. It's blasphemy, and it's a damn shame. If I'm humbly honest, it's a damn shame we're not talking about Tavari Terrell more. How disruptive he is and how much of a killer instinct he has. He would be a great addition to any team, I think, at the linebacker edge, outside linebacker position. Y'all get some love, man, to Tavari Terrell. He needs more attention on his name. Period. Well, there it is, man. Shout out to Backdoor Poacher, man. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Usually I always have kids on, man. I don't always see the comments or always have comments come in, but this was a solo show today, man. Solo show today. I didn't want to do it last minute, to be honest with y'all, and try to bring on players late. You know what I'm saying? Or, usually players got something going on. I know it is spring break, so some players also are trading or they might be enjoying their time, man. So I'll reach out next week, get some people on. But I just wanted to see how much viewership I would get doing this recruiting show kind of just, alone and by myself, and it's pretty good viewership. You know what I'm saying? I promoted a little bit on Instagram. I didn't really promote on Twitter. So to get 34 views, man, I think about 15 people was tuning in on YouTube. Hey, it's a growing thing, man. So I can't wait to see where it goes. We're going to keep you guys locked in every single Thursday at 6 for my recruiting show. Every single Wednesday, we got college football show, man, at 7 p.m. So y'all stay tuned for that. Taking all college football specific teams. We cover in Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Miami, Texas, and then we're throwing in now Alabama and Georgia. Those will be the 6 teams we cover this year. If I have intel on others, I'll throw them in a loop. If other teams you want to see me cover, let me know. And also any national news, man. And then Tuesday is a teletape. So if you're a high school athlete, you're watching, you want to obviously have me break down your film, a whole bunch of players are sending in. I will obviously feature you guys on Tuesday. Y'all obviously send the film my way, and I'll break it all down. And obviously Mondays is my co-host show with Just Sizzling News with my boy R1 Bacon, the Bacon Network. We talk all high school, a little bit of college in there, but mainly predominantly on the high school ball. But that's going to do it for today's show, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Recruiting Unfiltered with Najeh Wilkins. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, man. And become a member, man. I'm going to be dropping more intel for you guys. Like basically my fans, my loyalists, it's like $2.99, obviously, you know what I'm saying, per month. And then for my big fans, I think it's like $9.99 for the intel. Again, I'm trying to supply you guys with intel I hear and before it obviously hits the streets, things I'm hearing and knowing as I continue to build. And it helps me, man. If I'm humbly honest, it helps me. Like I'm trying to grow this thing. I'm pretty much solo for the most part. I'm freelancing with obviously SI and Georgia Tech on SI. But yeah, I'm trying to build so I can pay my bills, to be honest with y'all. So if y'all can help support, that would mean a lot. And I do a lot for me, man. But that's what we do for today's show. I will see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your week, man. And thanks for always tuning in. Till next time. Peace.